Which are the best awakenings in Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4? I decided to make a list with the 10 awakenings which in my opinion offer better performance at a utility level, not at an aesthetic or spectacular level. So without further to say, these are the 10 best awakenings in Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. As always, I remind you this is my personal opinion, it is not a definitive list, I don't have the absolute reason about this topic. As usual, I would love to read in the comments your top 10 awakenings in the game, and that way we can all discuss together which offer better results. Without further to say, let's start with the ranking. Number 10. Kurama from Naruto Hokage. I know this sounds a little cliché, but in each position I will give the reasons why I consider that said awakening deserves to be there. Naruto Hokage's version of Kurama is a little different from young Naruto's. His moveset is different, being a giant awakening, each and every single one of its hits generate a combo cancel stunt on the rival, one of the longest lasting animations of receiving damage in the game. This has utilities like leaving the opponent in a pretty easy position to perform an ultimate without any problem. The damage that his single combo has is pretty good for an awakening. The jutsu can be charged and turned into a beam that deals a lot of damage too, and in general, Kurama's awakening have always been considered very decent within Storm games. Number 9. Edo Hashirama Wood Golem. The second giant awakening on this list, which in summary accounts all the advantages of being such a great transformation are attributed to it, as I mentioned above. In addition, his punches cover a considerably wider range than those of Kurama, since he uses the wooden dragon constantly and has a brutal hitbox. He has a grab that takes a lot of life even for an awakening. His jutsu has a lot of range and in general is one of those awakenings where you can literally go crazy towards the rival mashing the circle and doing chakra dashes constantly, and it will go out profitable because the hits of these giants are bugged as hell. And even though your rival uses his subs, they will not be able to defend themselves for a long time from such a pressure. Number 8. Asuma. This state of Asuma could be considered one of the most chipped in the game for the simple fact that it combines two things you have to be very careful of: instant guard break and a short combo. The amount of damage that the Asuma combo deals in Awakening is ridiculous, practically half of a bar. Now, if you manage to combine the instant guard break mechanics into this Awakening, you can perform the entire combo before the opponent recovers from the break again, which is crazy. Otherwise, Asuma's skills are very standard, but it's that advantage which makes him already excessive. It has one more factor which is also pretty good, and that is that every hit that it hits releases a cut that occupies practically the entire screen, and you can punch your rival from a long distance. So the hits don't deal a lot of damage, but if you can hit it and then do a chakra dash, the rival gets opened up. Number 7. Kabuto Zenin Mode. I love this awakening, it is simply very aesthetic to see and deals crazy damage. Look, if you get the rival without subs, with this awakening, he can already say goodbye to a bar and a half of life. His combo deals a lot of damage. The tilt is both offensive and defensive with the stone wall that he takes out with Jirobo. The jutsu has an incline stunt, although his grab is the only bad thing about this awakening because it gives the rival a chance to recover in the air, and also Kimimara's awakening action is pretty basic, but here is why this awakening is so good. It is the action of the web net with Kidomaru. If this net catches the rival, he can't escape from it, even if they still have subs remaining. It's impossible, the attack forbids it. So if you manage to chain this action in Awakening with the neutral combo, you can take a lot, but a lot of life, and the rival would still be able to do nothing, without doubt. Number 6. Susanoo from Sasuke the Last. A Susanoo could not be missing on the list. They are practically one of the most viable in the game due to their range and because being a giant, all their hits have an incline stunt. The Susanoo from this Sasuke has a very short and fast combo that removes a good slice of life. The jutsu does not have a confirmed hit, which makes the multi-hit more effective and breaks more guard in case the opponent is blocking. tilt and grab have pretty good damage and range, that would be all. Practically the Susanoo from Sasuke the Last is the best Susanoo of the game for me. Number 5. The third Raikage. The main reason why this character is in this position is because of the damage he deals. Even without being in awakening mode, he is possibly one of the characters with the most damage in the entire game. Now imagine what happens when you put him on awakening. He takes half life out of you in the blink of an eye with the down combo. He gets faster and his actions stay the same. In theory, the awakening itself is not one of the best, but the boost that this awakening gives to the base character is nuts. It is a beast that can give you an incredible advantage if you use it correctly. Number 4. Guy 8 Gates Open. Of course, it was quite predictable that this man would be here. His combo removes a decent damage, the tilt has a very generous range, the jutsu can quietly remove half of a bar and is almost unstoppable, the grab slows down time and gives Guy some advantage, very short, but it gives him, to attack at his whims while the rival is in slow motion. Mechanics that reminds me a lot when Itachi used his awakening in the first Ultimate Ninja, which was very broken. On above all of that, Guy's awakening of the 8 gates, an exclusive move that only he can do. No other character in the game can do this, and he has a triple jump. Not a double jump like all the others, he can jump once more, which makes his mobility much wider. This is a reference to how in the manga he can jump kicking the air when he is in the transformation. Finally, all of Guy's actions have an impressive increase in speed, and if you want it so, the rival will practically never be able to touch you if you move at full speed. But of course, the fun is in doing damage. Number 3. Edo Madara Rinnegan. This is probably my favorite one in the game. First, because he is not one of the giants. I know they are very good because of the hitbox and inclined stunt attacks they have, but I just don't feel comfortable handling such a big character in this game. Instead, what makes this Madara so special is that its moveset changes almost in its entirety. Many would prefer Madara with Awakening of Susanoo, but what these one have are two simple combos that can break your defense. The range that those hits with the would have is brutal. Besides, the combo is not especially long, so it does a lot of damage in a short time. The tilt changes to be a Banshotenin, which, for those who don't know, is the longest stunt animation of the entire game. The rival is sold out for a ridiculous amount of time, which gives plays that you can do it in an infinite way. The jutsu is very similar to its base form, but it becomes a fire flame with much more range and good damage. The grab has a very good range, and its air combo is nothing special, it's just that I love the animations there in the air. An Awakening for me 10 out of 10. But be aware that we have still 2 positions left, so what could be better than this? Number 2. Madara Six Paths. This awakening is so good it's disgusting. It breaks the mechanics of the base game. When you transform, it results that 4 copies of you come out that will be present on the field during the whole time that the awakening is active. So you have 4 different awakening actions. In the one above, a clone will throw the rival up and leave him undefensive to do what you want while he's in the air. The one on the right are shurikens that have no other use beyond putting pressure. The one below gives a blow that leaves the rival stuck to the floor, and finally the one on the left is the best one. The clones go one by one hitting the rival, and all the first hits have inclined stunts, which means that you can change character and perform an ultimate, but trust me, you will not want to switch characters for the entire time this awakening is active. An awakening can be activated at any time in a combo of your rival, which means that if you are being hit, you can spam the actions and they can save you without needing to use substitution. Do you have any idea of how broken that is? And we're not finished. His grab increases range, the jutsu is unblockable and can break the rival's defense in just 2 combos. It is an abuse. Madara in this state was left very broken. As always, here I leave you a few honorable mentions that almost ended up by entering the top and are all
up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh.
Win the turn and continue hitting him doing chakra dashes. That is pretty useful. The entire combo itself takes a lot of life and quickly. The jutsu is this giant wind bullet that has an absurd hitbox. Besides, the damage is also enough. And here comes the actions in Awakening. What makes him worthy of the first place? The action of the left gives you an extra substitution, as simple as that. If you have no subs, this action saves your butt and gives you one more. In addition, this keeps reloading. Taking into account the time that an Awakening may last, can get 3 extra replacements for free, which falls like a ring to the finger because the second action to Awakening is the only insta-kill movement in the whole game. The only technique that can kill you with a single hit if it gets to you. It takes your whole life, everything. This is already reason enough to make it one of the most viable Awakenings in the game. If you use this action, you must spend a substitution, otherwise, if you don't have one, Danzo will die along with the rival. You have to be careful with that, but for these reasons, from my perspective, Danzo has the strongest Awakening of the entire game. Don't forget to write down your favorite Awakenings in the comments and those that give you the best performance. I would love to read your arguments. Thank you so much for watching, that was all for today, and I will be watching you in the next video. Take care and see ya.
All I wanna do is get to know you, east to west to north to south, the whole you.